Have you ever wondered how some companies just seem to pull these brilliant ideas out of thin air again and again? Well, today we're going to peel back the curtain on one of the world's most legendary design firms, IDEO, to really distill their core philosophy of innovation. Let's dive in.
Business writer Gary Hamel really doesn't mince words, does he? In today's world, innovation isn't just some nice-to-have luxury. It is a straight-up survival mechanism. Standing still is basically the fastest way to get left behind. You have to out-innovate the innovators. The pressure's on for sure.
So that's the billion-dollar question, right? It's one thing to talk about innovation, but how do you actually build a process that can deliver it on demand? To see if it could even be done, ABC's Nightline challenged IDEO with a project that was, well, a little bit crazy.
Yeah, the shopping cart, an absolute icon of American culture, and something that has barely changed in decades. The challenge was to completely reinvent it from the ground up. And the timeline? Get this, just 5 days. Talk about a high-wire act.
IDEO's whole approach to this deep dive, which is what Nightline called it, really reveals their core method for turning total chaos into creativity. This is where we get into the real nuts and bolts.
Even the team at IDEO admitted the timeline was pretty insane. But, the shopping cart was the perfect subject. It's an object so familiar that it's basically become invisible to us, an icon just completely frozen in time. It was the perfect canvas for a radical rethink.
So the first thing they did was put together what they call a hot group. And what's so fascinating here is just the sheer diversity of this team. This was not just a room full of designers. Nope. They brought in experts from psychology, linguistics, even biology. The big idea is that true innovation doesn't come from one place. It comes from the collision of all these different perspectives.
Okay, so the team is assembled. The clock is ticking. Where on earth do you even begin? For IDEO, the answer is always the same. You start with people.
Forget focus groups. Forget boring market research reports. The team's very first move was to get out of the building and into the grocery store. They practiced what they call instant anthropology, just watching real people struggle with real shopping carts. You simply can't find those kinds of insights on a spreadsheet.
And what did they see? Oh, they saw the messy reality. Kids in danger of falling out, parents trying to juggle children and groceries, cart traffic jams clogging up the aisles, and shoppers using their carts like a base station while they ran off to grab something. Every single one of these pain points was a golden opportunity for innovation.
This all comes down to the point captured right here in this quote from IDEO's Leon Segal. Innovation begins with an eye. It all starts with observation. You have to see the problem with your own eyes before you can even begin to imagine a solution.
So, now they're armed with all these real-world insights, and the team was ready to start generating ideas. But IDEO's approach to brainstorming and building, well, it's a little different than what you might expect.
They live and die by these rules. The goal is not to find the one perfect idea right away. No, it's about creating a storm of possibilities. Defer judgment is absolutely key. There are no bad ideas at this stage. And encourage wild ideas, that's where the real magic happens.
And this just illustrates that rule perfectly. Sports utility shopping carts. It's playful, it's a little out there, and it immediately gets you thinking completely differently about what a cart could even be. It just shatters that mental box of the current design.
Now, after all this observing and brainstorming, most companies would probably hole up and write a 100-page report or, create a massive PowerPoint deck. But that is not the IDEO way.
They built it. Their philosophy is build to think. A physical prototype is worth 1,000 pictures. It makes an idea real, it makes it tangible. You can touch it, you can react to it, improve it, and learn from it in a way you just can't with a drawing on a page.
And just look at what they built in only a few days. Notice how every single feature solves a problem they actually observed. The nesting handbaskets? That solves the base station issue. The safe, fun child seat? That addresses the parent struggle. The scanner, the cup holders, every single innovation is rooted in a real human need that they saw with their own eyes.
So the process is powerful, no doubt, but it's nothing without the right people and the right team dynamics. And that brings us to how IDEO builds a culture of innovation from the ground up.
You know, we have this romantic myth of the lone genius, toiling away in solitude. But the reality? It's a total myth. Even Michelangelo had a whole team of artisans. Thomas Edison's famous lab wasn't just him. It was an idea factory with a 14-man team. The lesson is crystal clear. Innovation is a team sport.
And here's a really counterintuitive truth. Challenges, even outright failures, can be the best thing for a team. The book tells this great story about a batch of flawed cases for the Palm V. Instead of just throwing them out, a dozen IDEO employees stayed late, put on some rock music, and inspected all 10,000 cases by hand. That shared struggle? It became a legendary team-building moment.
So, what does this all mean for you? How can you take these lessons and actually apply them? Well, IDEO offers a really great metaphor for this.
This is such an empowering way to think about it. You don't have to be the best in the world at everything. Maybe your strength is that early observation phase, or maybe you're a genius at rapid prototyping. The goal is to build a well-rounded capability for innovation. It's your total score that really matters.
And this might be the most important takeaway of them all. This is the mantra that fuels the entire process. Prototyping is all about embracing these little mini failures. Each one isn't an endpoint. It's a stepping stone, a lesson that gets you closer to the final solution and gets you there faster.
And here is the ultimate takeaway for you. Your world is absolutely full of shopping carts. They're the processes, the products, the routines that we just accept. Things that are frustrating, inefficient, or just totally ripe for reinvention. So now that you've seen the process, the only real question left is, where are you going to start?